one seat in the finals has been reserved last Sunday night for the San Miguel Beermen, but the other seat, the last seat, has yet to be fought for tonight in our lone PBA game this Wednesday. And two teams are aching to end this series and book that last final seat. It's the Alaska Aces going up against the Talking Tex Tropang Texters. Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to the 2010 PBA Fiesta Conference here in the Araneta Coliseum. I'm Chick Reyes, and I'll be your courtside reporter for this game. But before we start this exciting game tonight, we have this very special feature on these two players from the San Miguel team who have played exceptionally well for their team in this conference and for this week.
It's hard to consistently dish out big games in a talented roster such as the San Miguel Beermen, but tell that to Jay Washington and Arwin Santos, and they'll show you it can be done.
Jay Washington, if he plays well, more often than not, they win. This has been the key offensive threat for San Miguel.
For Arwin Santos has been all over the court, offense, defense, stopping Washa, making three-pointers.
Both athletic and possess mid-range games to complement their inside moves. Washington and Santos were instrumental in helping the most successful franchise in the PBA.
The San Miguel Beermen are about to make their 31st PBA Finals appearance, still the most in PBA history.
Washington, the former top draft pick in 2005, whose career did not take off until he was traded to the Beermen 2 years ago, was rock solid in the Beermen's last two wins in their semifinal series against Philippine Cup champions Beermen Derby Ace Yamados. He churned out a pair of double-double games in games 4 and 6.
Washington gets the slam. Oh, he gets the ankle breaker. Can't finish the slam. And now Jay Washington with a slam.
Santos, on the other hand, played great defense against VMEG's import Tony Washam, while dishing out solid numbers on offense.
Oh, Washam got the ball. Blocked by Arwin Santos. A solid block. From short range by Pingris. Arwin Santos gets away. Goodbye.
Offense. Those pair of great offensive and defensive games from the Beermen's 1-2 punch up front did not fail to catch the attention of the scribes covering the series as they were picked co-best players of the week.
And there you have it, folks, our two players of the week. And they're also two of the many reasons why San Miguel is back in the finals again. But San Miguel needs an opponent, and it can only be either Alaska or Talking Tex. Now, in their series, both teams have won and lost blowout games and close games. Alaska took games 1 and 3, while Talking Tex took games 2, 4, and 5. And the psychological edge when they entered game 6. But Alaska in game 6 had other things in mind and took game 6 to force this rubber match for the last seat in the finals. As you see there, as I mentioned, Alaska got 1, 3, and 6, while Talking Tex took 2, 4, and 5. It has been a very tiring, emotional, physical, and well-fought series, and the only perfect ending is a game 7 between the Alaska Aces and the Talking Tex Tropang Texters.
The first 6 games saw momentum shifting from one team to another. It has gotten this far.
Alaska will live to fight another day and stretch this already emotional series to its maximum.
But only one shall prevail.
Why are we trying to hang on? Keep going at it.
The seesaw battle has to end. It will now boil down to the team with the biggest heart.
Pag-survive ba talaga when your job is on the line, you'll do everything.
Who wants it more?
Game 7's are 50-50.
Come with me. Don't be afraid. Yeah. Come with me.
This is Game 7.
Sa pagbuhos ng ulan sa labas ng Big Dome, aapaw naman ang galing, aapaw ang tapang, aapaw ang bangis. Ito ang Game 7 of the PBA Semifinals ng Fiesta Conference here on Solar TV. Magandang gabi sa kanilang lahat. Miko Halili kasama El Decano, Senyor Kenito Henson. And it all boils down to one last game, one last time between the Alaska Aces and the Talking Tech Tropang Texters.
Meron akong idadagdag sa sinabi mo.
Yes, go ahead.
Aapaw din ang luha na kung sino matatalo sa game na to.
Aapaw ang tuwa kung sino naman ang manalo at sila naman ang haharap sa San Miguel Beermen who are in waiting in the finals that will start on Friday. Now, this series has been really close. Yes, we've had blowout games, Kinito, but when you look at the totality of the series, only one conclusion can be made. Match na match.
You know, Miko, I was looking at the stats game after game, going over the stat sheet from game 1 to game 6. Wala akong makitang trend eh. And that's the reason why I agree with you completely when you say that this series is so evenly matched. I think what's important to consider here as you look at these figures is not only do the figures look almost the same, nagkakaiba lang siguro yung sa turnovers at saka sa assists. But again, when you took a look at those two departments, nagkaiba pa yung kung sinong ahead. And that's the reason why I think this Game 7 is a match made in heaven. This is what every player dreams of, to be able to play in a do-or-die Game 7 for the chance to make it to the finals. And we are so privileged and lucky, Miko, that we are here covering this game right here for you.
Now here's the long and short of it. The long and short of this series. We'll look at one little big man and one really big man. Jimmy Alapag para sa Talking Tech. And of course, Big Diamond Simpson para sa Alaska Aces. And these two gentlemen are just playing huge para sa kanilang mapupunan.
Well, Nico, you talk about Diamond Simpson, and I call him the ace of diamond. And you see what he has done here so far. Averaging over 22 points a game. Look at his rebounding stats. Plus, he also knows how to pass the ball. But more than the stats, you know that this player can play multiple positions. He can play number 5. He can play number 4. He is a good wing player as well. More than anything else, he is so comfortable playing within the triangle system of Coach Tinton. But you see Jimmy Alapag, the smallest man on the court most of the time. I don't think there's any player smaller than him. But Jimmy Alapag makes such a big difference because he not only gets the points for himself, but he also creates opportunities for his teammates. And I think that's the mark of a true point guard. Someone who can create, someone who can score, someone who will always be a double-edged threat. But you remember, game number 6, kung saan nanalo ang Alaska, he had 20 points in the first half, didn't score in the second half.
Well, Jimmy is the leader, the vocal leader, the physical leader of this Talking Text team. That's why they call him the Mighty Mouse, and he's out to try and save the day once again. Now, marami pa kailangan gawin ng Talking Text para sila'y makaabot sa finals para harapin ang San Miguel. They have issues that they need to address.
Well, a lot of issues. Number one is the mental pressure of having to deliver the goods. This is the team that has stocked up with the pillars of Santa Lucia Realty. Kelly Williams and Ryan Reyes, of course, moving into the lineup. But for a team that's resolving issues, well, a lot of answers will be made in this game. You know, the other debate is whether Sean Daniels will stay or not. And that's also an issue that is a day-to-day situation for them. Backmack has to be on track. And for Cardona, he was 1 out of 13 from the field in the last 2 games. It's not that he's gotten his minutes. He's averaged 24 minutes in the last 2 games. And his scoring has to be there for Talking Tech to get the high numbers. Secondly, they need to untangle that triangle of Alaska. That means stop Alaska from getting the assists. Alaska is averaging 22 assists when they win in this series. Finally, Sean Daniels, he's got to be more aggressive. Game number 5, kung saan nanalo ang Talking Tech, he had 18 points and 17 rebounds. Now, those are import-type numbers. And Coach Chodres wants Sean Daniels to play like an import, game in, game out.
And now we'll flip the page. Let's look at the Dean's List. Para naman sa Alaska Aces, they might have momentum going into this ball game after winning Game 6 so convincingly.
Well, they do have momentum, but if you take a look at how this series has been, Alaska has never beaten Talking Tech back-to-back. Talking Tech has beaten Alaska 2 in a row. Ace of Diamond, that's the key for Alaska, how well he plays. You remember when Diamond only scored 12 points in game number 4, natalo sila ng Talking Tech. They need to bait the fouls. They need to go to the line. In the games that Alaska has won in this series, they've gone to the line for 30 free throws. In the games that they've lost, they've gone to the line for 20 free throws. Malaki diferensya. They need to be aggressive in baiting the fouls. Protect the possessions. That means less turnovers for Alaska. They need to create turnovers, not commit them. Finally, they need to control the interior. You know, Talking Tech likes to move inside with the penetration and dribble drives. They like to play up close.